James Gunn, you crazy son of a bitch. So I saw Guardians of the Galaxy on Thursday evening, and I was so pleasantly surprised. It is so much better than what we've been getting in the MCU for quite a long time. I love that James Gunn with this film really made it clear, like, this is my last hurrah with Marvel, and just wait till we get to everything I have to give for the DC universe. So that was fantastic. I loved how in the very beginning of the film it started with Radiohead's Creep, and you're in the perspective of Rocket Raccoon. This is Rocket's film. It is his story. It is everything that you would want to learn about him, because his background has kind of been a bit secretive in the prior films. I thought it was a great song choice because everyone in the film is kind of in an odd spot mentally. Really starts off the action quite quickly with Adam Warlock bursting into the Guardians' home. I know one of the bigger complaints is that Adam Warlock is different quite drastically from how he's presented in the comics. I feel like James Gunn contractually was obligated to include Adam Warlock in the film because he was kind of an afterthought, even though Will Poulter was fantastic in the role. I think it was clear he had pretty much full control over the film, which was fantastic. But I do think that that was like the one stipulation, kind of, just so they could say, we need to have Adam Warlock set up in your movie so we can use him moving forward in other films. And Adam Warlock's destruction of the Guardians' safe haven made the stakes very high, since it wound up leaving Rocket Raccoon seriously injured, and that becomes the entire crux of the film moving forward. I'm sure at this point of viewing, everyone is very aware that the entire film is pretty much based off of Rocket's backstory, and it is heartbreaking. It is horrific. I was actually pretty shocked to see a film really expose animal cruelty, animal testing, to, really showcase what it really is. And I'm a huge animal lover. I'm incredibly compassionate. I don't feel that the film did it in a preachy way, and I really hope moving forward it kind of made people rethink their choices when they buy certain products or what they eat. But regardless of that, I thought it was a really fantastic job done by James Gunn. The friendships he makes with Lila and Floor and Teefs, it's heartbreaking and precious, and I like their death was so incredibly sad, but it really showed you how cruel and brutal these types of situations can be for animals, and I really appreciated that. Like what that first line that Rocket says when he's like, I don't know, really little, like I would maybe say he's like 2 years old. His first words are "hurts," and then it's just like, oh my god. And he has this little like shaved head because you saw all the things they did to him, and it's just heart-wrenchingly sad. I loved how James Gunn really treated him as a human with the most human qualities, and such an in-depth character. I love how they showed him at different ages. I love when he was like 8, he's like learning about the world, and he's such an inquisitive and intelligent child. Gunn's writing just gave him that depth and character development that's been lacking in so many Marvel films these days with human characters. So to me, that was just absolutely brilliant. So the villain, the High Evolutionary, I thought was incredibly scary, constantly seeking perfection and creating a new society. It wasn't just an obsession with Rocket because he was smart. I found that he was almost jealous of Rocket in general. And you could tell that, he considers himself to be one of the most intelligent human beings in the galaxy, yet little 8-year-old Rocket figured out so many things naturally that he never could have on his own. So I really do think there is that mixture of we want him back because we need to study his brain more, and that he's my creation, but also the fact that he is just inherently so jealous of what Rocket is capable of, and how intelligent Rocket is. The entire backstory of Rocket losing those 3 best friends really just solidifies why the Guardians family means so much to him. And I thought that was just like so beautiful and so well done, and that's why he does cling to this group of misfits in the first film. I loved like the way they even showed him being able to create his own key to unlock his friends, because I feel like he always knew something was really off and sinister regarding the High Evolutionary. So and when that scene happens, I mean, it's devastating. You know, Rocket says with his friends in their little cell, which is one of the most heartbreaking scenes in the film, is like beautiful vision for himself. And it's, someday I'm going to make great machines that fly, and me and my friends are going to go flying together in that forever and beautiful sky. Lila and Teefs and Floor and me, Rocket. And it is just... it's devastating because, you know, his friends are never going to be able to join him because they wind up getting killed by the High Evolutionary. That friendship they had was really his only bond as a family, as knowing any type of family. But it is a premonition for what is to come, because little Rocket Raccoon will eventually, be flying in the skies with his new family, the Guardians of the Galaxy, which they, obviously show him joining in the first film. I really feel like James Gunn loves these characters so much, and the respect he has for these characters is just so prevalent in this movie. Every single character shines more than once, and their development from the first film into this and what everyone's become, they've all had such strong character arcs, which is quite difficult, I feel like, when you have such a large group of people that you have to give every single person the equal amount of time throughout a trilogy. And I thought that he just absolutely nailed it. The film felt like a very respectful farewell to these characters, and it made sense for each person by the end of the film to kind of take their path into a different direction. And I love that Rocket's the captain of the Guardians now after Peter Quill says goodbye. The way they handled his relationship with Gamora, the new version of Gamora, was like so well done. The whole scene about, I bet we had a lot of fun together, and he says, you have no idea. Like, all of that is just so human, so realistic. And we have Teefs. Can we talk about how cute that walrus is? Like, oh my god. Like, all of those animals that friends of his were adorable, but like Teefs would just like roll around on his back with like a British accent, and it just killed me. I loved the strong pro-animal rights message, obviously. Like, that was so relevant, especially at the end when they're Rocket makes sure that they save all of the animals, because it's not just about humans being a higher form of species. It's we're all in this together, and we need to save them too. I absolutely love that. We saw a little lamb shank that's like, oh, thank you. Like, that cracked me up. I love that James Gunn did the voice of that, because every creature does matter, and I love that that's what this film was trying to say. I loved at the end that the audience was able to finally understand Groot for the first time. I thought that was really clever, and I thought it was like, okay, now, Gamora finally understood him, a little bit prior to that experience, and now the audience at the end of this trilogy can finally understand him too and speak the same language, and I just thought that was fantastic and like a really great choice. I feel like some people don't like it, but I thought it was really smart. The Howard the Duck cameo, I kind of wish like he joined them at some point, or like Howard the Duck becomes a future Guardian, because I love Howard the Duck because he's just so ridiculous, and I love that James Gunn loves him too, because I feel like he does try to find any place he can to kind of just throw Howard the Duck in there. And this one he was playing poker and having his drink, and it's just such a ridiculous character, and I really think that that's what James Gunn gravitates towards. So it's fantastic that he was made a little appearance in this film. I cannot get this film out of my mind. I'm shocked. I can't believe that an MCU movie has made me feel this way. I have not felt this way in years. If I was going to rank all of the Guardians of the Galaxy films, I would say for sure the second one would be at the bottom. Not because I didn't like it, but it really didn't give me the lasting impact that this film and the first one did. And then if I was going to compare the first one to this one, I feel like that would be an inappropriate comparison, since I have not seen the first one in a very long time, although I do know that one had a huge impact on me. But I will say this film is fantastic. I might not bring a child under the age of 10, even though it is a family-friendly movie. This one is incredibly heavy. Could be incredibly traumatizing with the the animal cruelty that's shown, even though it's necessary. And thank you, James Gunn, for exposing people to this, because this is not a fantasy. That's not the fantasy of the film. That is real life that goes on. So thank you, James Gunn, for showing this. I really love that. I feel like for the past 6 months, or you hear everyone online just talking about, oh, James Gunn and DC, what is he gonna do? Like, I don't know if he's gonna be able to handle doing both directing and writing and handling being an executive. You know what? This was his send-off from Marvel, saying, here's my masterpiece, and I can't wait to show you what I'm gonna do running DC. And now more than ever, I am so excited to see what he does with Superman. I think people struggled prior to feel that maybe he doesn't have the sensitivity to deal with Superman. This is the most sensitive film he's ever made, and I think it's clear as day he knows how to handle so many different emotions in human nature. Or I should say in alien nature. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does with the DC universe. James Gunn, you're so good. This was fantastic, and I love that you kind of had full reign to do whatever you wanted. You hit every mark that we wanted, and I don't think I've actually said I wanted to see a movie in theaters again. I don't know. I just don't normally do that. And my first instinct is I want to see that again. I want to see Rocket's story again. I want to see every aspect of that movie again. There are little things here and there that I thought didn't quite work, but they don't make it a bad film at all. I would still give this movie an A, even with its problems. The CGI also, I cannot forget to talk about this. The CGI is so gorgeous. And I was shocked because we are now getting so programmed to see horrendous CGI coming from Marvel and Disney. And so I was just really thrilled to see how gorgeous this movie is. And the camera work is so good, and the directing and the music, and you guys are gonna have a great time. So I highly recommend this movie. Hats off to Lambshank, R.I.P. Lila and Teefs and Floor. Man. You're killing me, Gunn. You're killing me, because, wow, amazing film, amazing voice work by Bradley Cooper, amazing work by everyone involved, fantastic. Thank you for giving us a Marvel film we actually enjoyed and really can root for and champion. I really feel like I can just, without a doubt, tell people to go see this film, and I'm not even going to doubt whether or not they think it's good. It's fantastic. Yes, maybe Kevin Feige will learn from this of just what to do moving forward, because we all want more of this, and handle your characters with that amount of care and respect that James Gunn does, no matter what type of character they are. So let's keep that up. Let's do that for the future of the MCU, please. I hope you all are having a lovely day. Please go see this in theaters. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And subscribe, and thanks for stopping by.